call the meeting to order. And this is just a regular school board meeting at this point in time. Oh, do you want to salute the flag? Okay, that's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
Over on the agenda. Just right there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Approved minutes, motion to approve minutes from 2/6/20.
So moved.
Second?
Any changes? Good. All those in favor? Moving right on, citizen comments? None? Nothing? Okay. Presentation of school programs? Yeah. Nope, nothing like that. Kevin, nothing like that? Old business, early childhood ed update? There's nothing, right? Okay. Tuition contract at high school, we don't have anything on that tonight. All right, we'll move on to instructional issues. First reading of the policies. We can vote to talk about these as a group, and then we'll go through each one individually and vote on each one individually at this point. Is that good with everybody? All right. So first reading of policies, motion ABC, JICK, JLC, JLCJ, JLCK.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, first one, ABC, prohibitions to regarding use and possession of tobacco products, e-cigarettes, e-liquids in and on school facilities and grounds. So this is the first reading, so does anybody have any questions on it, any suggestions? At this point? Oh, I was there, yeah, there's minutes in that. We pretty much have covered everything that we think of, although there was something on the news this morning I was trying to listen to and follow up on, that the kids have tried to find a loophole, so I'm gonna make sure that we cover the loophole.
You need just for this. You should be the school board advisor.
All right.
We're talking about. Oh, sorry.
We're reading policies. We kind of need you for this.
All right, so all those in favor of moving ADC on for second reading? Motion, all approved? Okay, JICK, public safety and violence prevention. Questions, suggestions? Nope. All right. All those in favor of moving JICK on? So moved. Okay, JLC. Student health services. Questions? Conditions? No? All those in favor of moving it on? JLCJ, moving on. Great, thank you. JLCJ, concussions and head injuries. Any questions? Input on those? Okay, all those in favor of moving it on? Second reading? All those in favor? Great. JLCK, special physical health needs of students. Any additions? Questions? Nope. All right. All those in favor of moving it on? Any personnel actions?
Not tonight.
Great. Business affairs, budget status report? Any questions? Silence? Flooding? Anything? Nothing? Status quo? Good? All right. Pull that. Signing of correspondence to trustees of trust funds.
That's for
Did we do
the
that?
buses. Then you
Oh, I thought.
sign a
I
letter
thought, okay.
that says, or basically withdrawing the money from the trust to pay for the buses.
Now it is official.
It is.
All right. Kevin, anything?
No, unless you want to speak about the design team for strategic plan. Nice meeting today.
Great. Yeah.
Yep, and again, thank you, Jen, for sitting in on the steering committee. Nice group of people today, probably 30 people or so working on the competencies for the portrait of a learner. That was a big piece, and we'll be publicizing that more as it moves forward. I know that a couple pieces related to that is there were surveys that were sent out, and we've received over 500 surveys on that. Katie Wilson, myself, and others have been doing some focus group conversations with targeted groups of community members. I was very happy to go to the high school and actually talk to about 20 students about what was important to them. And then Katie followed up with the Eagle Academy graduates. So we're gathering as much information as possible and bringing it back so that on April 9th, there'll be a big community event for the strategic plan, and we'll be revealing some of the work that has been done so far.
So if you'd like to come, there's a meeting to the community on April 16th, and that'll be at the high school auditorium again, or in the cafeteria, actually. So that's April 16th at 6 p.m., and we'll be reviewing where we are so far. And if after the meeting, if anybody has any suggestions, we're trying to reach some of the retired folks in the community, the best forum for that. So if anybody has any suggestions on that, I'd be happy to talk to you after the meeting on how to do that. I think that was it, but it was a great meeting today. It was really, I was really happy with where we're going for the students and how it's looking. So.
The other piece is we have the NEASC accreditation report for Kent High School. So it's a public document. It's about 130 pages long, so I did not print it out, but I handed out to the board members at the SU United meeting the other night, and I can email copies to you folks as well, along with an executive summary with recommendations and commendations. That's it.
Thank you.
Today was our annual ski-a-thon event, and as always, it was a really wonderful gathering with parents, community members. We had high school alumni come back and ski with us. We had middle school alumni come back and ski with us. Parents of children who attended come and join us as well. The police chief was there, all of the employees from Ski Touring. And it was really inspiring. One little guy who's new to us this year was so impressed with the older skiers that every lap around, he said, how far did they go this time? How far did they go this time? And he worked for a little kindergartner to go 8 kilometers is a big dude for them. And it was really cool to just see the older students inspiring the younger students, and all of the families and other folks from the community working together. As you may or may not know, it's our biggest fundraiser for the year, and it supports our PTO. And we also make a small donation to Ski Touring, as well as a charity that the 6th graders select. And this year's charity is the World Wildlife Fund. So if you didn't sponsor a skier, that's fine. We'll take donations as well. But all of the kiddos have been out getting donations. And what we raised really isn't that important to me as much as what a wonderful community opportunity it was for everybody to be together on a beautiful day, skiing together. So it was a really nice event. And on that other note, we skied, you'll see this sign here. We have a skiing Jaguar, thanks to Susan, and Carrie put this together. And so as the kiddos went around, we measured how far they had gone, how many kilometers as a school we skied. So I'm not sure of the exact total, but I know we made our goal of at least 400 kilometers. So on March 17th, we're going to be having a pizza party here at the Whitney Center during lunch. And we're welcoming guests to come and join us if you would like to celebrate the accomplishment with the kiddos. I would, of course, want an RSVP, but it's a great event. And Jessica back there in the back row was kind of the head honcho with the PTO in terms of organizing it. So thank you for all the work that you and the other parents did, and Miss Susan and the staff. It was a really fun day.
And if I may tell on that, the girls, the Nordic team just had the state championships yesterday. So the girls team won first place for the state, which is huge. And a majority of those, the top 10, 6 of the top 10 are actually from Kennett. So that's who for the state, and a majority of those 6 were actually from Jackson. So this program, the ski-a-thon and the after-school program is so important. So if you ever get a chance in any way to support it and come watch it or come ski with kids after school, make sure you get your volunteer thing done. But you're welcome to come and do it. It's a great thing, so thank you. Anything else? No? Okay.
Jen,
Yes,
can I just clarify, there's been some confusion about the date of the next community forum for strategic plan, and right now it's still in the calendar as the 9th of
we
April.
moved it to the 16th because the 9th is the college. So there'll be a change in that, but it is the 16th. Yep. Committee reports. Kate, do you want to do anything on the policy committee? Any updates you want to do?
I think we just went over what work we would do for now.
Awesome. Board discussion?
I don't know if we want to talk about the warrant article for the maintenance trust fund at all. At the last meeting when we decided to put it on the warrant, we weren't really sure if there was a reason why we were putting, I think it was $10,000 more that we were putting into it. And right now I think it's $88,000 in the fund. So I did speak to John Skokie about it a couple weeks ago, a week or so ago. It was interesting, his first comment said if you're going to be putting more money into something, you should probably put it into the special ed fund, which I thought was interesting anyway, but he didn't see any reason why we should be adding more money to that maintenance fund. And the discussion that I had with him, and Jim might want to be in on this too, is at some point in, after April, we should get together and discuss what the purpose of that fund is. Because traditionally that fund has been used as an emergency fund. We don't use it to do regular maintenance like painting or floor replacements or shingle replacements or anything like that, or siding replacement. We basically traditionally that fund has been used specifically for in case of emergency, like a boiler goes or something, roof leaks and we need to do some kind of emergency funding. And so we might want to try to figure out how much money do we need in there for that. I remember years ago we were thinking that $40,000 was going to probably be enough for that because we had 2 boilers and they actually both happened to go, which at that time that actually was not completely out of the woods that something like that might happen. But we should probably review the equipment we have and what the catastrophic loss would be and how much money we should have in that fund. But I think that for now, I think I'm going to recommend that we actually vote down the $10,000 that we're putting in that maintenance fund.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be necessary until we have a larger discussion about why, what do we need in that fund and why.
I just want to be clear that I recall we had planned on using some of that for the siding. Is that correct, Jim, for the re-siding of this building?
Honestly, Gail, I'd have to go look up where that money was coming from.
Jessica?
Just
If I may, I think that there were discussions about using money to do the siding, and it was more of a crisis response rather than just like a regular rehab. And the last time we had looked at it, that was going to be completed by 40 or 50 grand. So that was the thought I think behind things. I think he would know more at this point. But so just for historical purposes, you might just think about that. About is that happening, and where would be the best place for that to come from before you do it, or don't put money? Because I think we did go back and forth about that a couple of times.
Because we did get an estimate from a contractor who's waiting to hear, so.
And it's going to be done at the end of this, by the end of the school year, right?
Right,
So,
but I don't believe we put that in our regular operating budget.
we did not, but there's enough in Whitney Capital Reserve Fund for that work, which is, we've also had talk about eliminating that fund and combining it with our maintenance trust fund. That's a bigger discussion, one that I don't think we can actually technically do or should do via the contract that we have with the foundation. It's actually in the contract that we put money into the specific capital reserve fund for this building, so I don't see why we should eliminate that fund and only have one fund for maintenance of the whole property. But there was enough money in the capital reserve fund for the Whitney to do the siding on the Whitney, which is where I thought we were talking about using the money to do the siding from, is where the money is actually where it is and why we have it there, versus the maintenance trust fund, again, we've never used that. We've always used that as an emergency fund, not as a planned capital expenditure fund. And if it's strictly an emergency fund, where do we need to cap that at? And do we need more than $88,000 in it right now? I don't think we need more than $88,000 in it right now. John Stokey didn't see any reason why we needed to be more than $88,000 in it for now. And then moving forward, we should just have a discussion about how we want to use that fund. And if it is one of the emergency funds, what number should it be kind of capped out at? Or do we need more in it? Or do we need less in it? And should we take some money out to spend on, the current project or not? We should have a review of the fund anyway. I think for now anyway, I'm going to recommend the body vote down that article tonight.
Just so you know, I think that the number we had for an estimate was like $46,000. And then the contracted services line for the year that we're in now is only $30,000. So obviously that siding is not in this year's operating budget.
Right. But does anybody know offhand what we have specifically in the Whitney Capital Reserve Fund?
Whitney,
This month? Yeah.
50,150.
50,000.
Which would be enough to only do the siding.
And there's nothing else pending. Okay, yeah, I would say.
So I would say, you're right, I think it sounds like it was, going back and looking at the minutes, the plan was to use that maintenance trust fund to do the remaining 3 sides of this building.
The maintenance fund for the school or for the Whitney?
I don't know which one.
Yeah, well, that's what, I recall having a discussion about using the Whitney fund for this building, that's what it's there for. And if we go over the 50,000, we could take it from the maintenance trust fund if we needed to pay for it.
There's certainly enough there.
But there seems to be enough there now, and before I'm comfortable saying, hey, we need more than that fund, I think we need to do a little bit of homework and to see, what's the fund for? Is it for emergency purposes and not ongoing? We put money in the operating budget specifically for its war this year. And that could come out of the maintenance trust fund if we wanted to, but we never used the maintenance trust fund for
We
this
always
type of
plan
thing.
on that. So this is for an emergency, I think you're right, that's good. Yeah.
We don't really know where the cap should be, because we never had that discussion yet. We need to kind of, get together with the facility committee and have
We
a
should
discussion.
make one and keep it.
But if it doesn't seem like we need to add more money into it, I'm recommending we go down.
Good, all right. Any other board discussion? Next meeting is April 20th, 6 PM. Any other citizen comments? Yes, Ms. Melissa?
I have a question. Are you folks staying with a 5-member board
Yes.
moving forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That should be up to us.
Oh,
There is
I
three
just,
people.
I
But there's
know,
3 people on the ballot coming up.
There's-
That are on the current board at any
We currently have 4 members on the board. Jess had, not because it was a conflict with her current job.
right.
So we only had 2 meetings in between when she resigned from the board and when when the election was. So it didn't seem like we needed to or appropriate to nominate someone to that position for such a short period of time.
Right.
But Micah Burhart is running uncontested for the 5th seat,
She's running uncontested?
for Jess's seat.
Okay. And I have one other question, which is, I know you went over you mentioned the early childhood ed update. Is there still talk of looking into preschool in the building?
Yes, I think where we're at now is hoping to approve some funding this evening to move ahead with an architect that's going to look at our current space and all of the space concerns of the community to try to maximize what we do have to the best use of the building space in order to move forward in a variety of different ways to benefit the current population, the current needs of the population, with the idea that if it were possible to put a preschool in that space, that would be part of the thoughtful look at the facility.
So is that at this meeting or is that at the 7 o'clock meeting?
It's a 7 o'clock meeting, it's a warrant article.
Oh, it is.
I was just going to ask, does that go to Article 6?
Yes. Anything else? Minutes? No?
Kind of the thought behind that article is that we've all had our own kind of personal beliefs about where we can put the preschool, where we can put supply closets, where staff can meet, whether we can use the upstairs or not, what we can use in the basement or not. You know, we've all had kind of our personal thoughts of why don't we just do that? Well, what we've never done is actually done an actual professional study of the space that we have to know what that space can actually be used for, what it might actually cost to make it usable, and then to see is there space for new construction on the current campus or not. We haven't taken a professional look at that, and so before we can say, oh, we can fit a preschool here, oh, this can be a staff meeting room here, or oh, we can use the upstairs to do this, I kind of thought that rather than just having speculation and just me thinking that we can do those things, we'll actually have a professional service to vet out that process and say, yes, you can do this, or no, you can't do that, or here's where you can build a building, or there's no place to build a building. So that's what the next step that we're kind of going through as far as, in my mind anyway, with preschools. Can we fit preschool on our current campus? And if we can't, then that'll drive the discussion somewhere else. If we can, then we'll drive that discussion in that direction. But until we have professional answers on those, it's really just spinning our wheels in the mud.
Thank you.
We realized we didn't know what we were talking about. That was the bottom line.
You don't know what you don't know. All right, any other comments? No? You can ask now, you don't have to wait till 7. Okay. That being said, we will close this meeting.